everyone, it's Nathan Birch here talking about Blink Property today. And Blink Property, obviously we know it's a fantastic property management company that everyone keeps raving about, but I wanted to talk a little bit about why I set up Blink Property and what it is about, finding a right property manager. And as a property investor, got lots of properties, all that sort of stuff. The thing that really gave me the shits over the years was that I had good property managers on a couple of my properties and I had crap property managers for most of my other properties. And the thing that I realised is that all the property managers were different. They're people just like you and I are, and they're all different, and they have different beliefs, different work ethics, different passions, different thought processes. And what really frustrated me was the fact that I'm building a property portfolio because I wanted to exit the workforce and be able to create a passive income stream that's going to maximise my returns. And the thing is that I found a lot of real estate agents out there weren't delivering the service of what I expected. And the service wasn't, I don't need them to send me a postcard at Christmas and all that sort of crap. I need them to get me the best rental return, make sure my money's paid on time, make sure the rent's paid on time, make sure that, there's no dramas, that, tenants aren't causing mischief, they're not destroying the property, they're not, going to cause me trouble by, damaging stuff and then blaming me for it, whatever. But the main thing is that I wanted to make sure that I could maximise my rental returns. And, it's very important, like if I can just look at, I've seen those ads, what are they? There's super ads and they go, compare the pair. You've got like John over here and Paul, and they go on two freaking escalators and stuff, right? If we compared two real estate agents, like I'm just going to draw some rents up here. Let's say, for instance, if I got my rental property at $300 per week and John over here's got his for $320 per week, he's getting extra $20 a week in rent. The fact is that $20 a week times it by 52 weeks in the year is $1,040. May not seem much, it doesn't seem much when you think about it, whatever. The fact is that if you have 10 of those properties, you times that to the power of 10, that's $10,040 or $400, sorry, that I'm getting screwed over by having a shit, incompetent property manager. And the fact is that, you can probably tell that I get fired up still writing it here because I understand, how much money it can cost me. Looking at having good property managers, that's the outcome that I want to have. And looking at just some examples, I'm just going to get me tissue, some whiteboard cleaner. I'm going to wipe this stuff off. We'll be back to you soon after this ad break. La-di-da-di-da. Okay, so we're back and looking at some numbers here. So let's say, for instance, you have a property and the rent is, you're investing in property to build a passive income stream for your future. The rent is $300 per week today, and you want it to go to $310 per week, $320 per week, $330 per week, $340, and so on. You want to get to $400, you want to get to $450, etc. Right? The difference is that these price ranges are only small amounts of numbers. Having a property manager that can be proactive, not reactive, not one that's there thinking and saying to you, oh, you can't put the rent up because the tenant will get upset. Well, sorry, but if there's other properties on the market for rent, comparable properties for an extra $20 a week more, and my property's under rented, then you're costing me money. If that tenant wants to move out, that's fine. I'll go collect another tenant the next day for the extra rent. Don't be over greedy with it, but there's a lot of property managers out there that are costing people money. And one thing from a negotiation thing, when I go to purchase properties, I see when I buy properties for myself or for my clients, I see the fact that rents are just disgusting on some of these properties. They've had a tenant in the real estate agent might say there might be common excuses. Oh, the tenant's a fantastic tenant, so you better keep the rent that's like, cheap for them. You don't want them to move out. Well, I'm sorry that if you're going to, give me cheap rent, I'll be a good tenant too. At the end of the day, it's not about the fact of a tenant. It's a business. Does the bank come to you and say, oh, don't put the interest rates up this fella, he's a top guy, he deserves a gold star. Oh, little Esme down the street, old lady, yeah, put her interest rate up. Oh, don't put hers up. Well, they don't do that. It's a commercial value of what your rent is, and it's set by the market, and you need to be proactive about it. And if you're not proactive about it, it's costing you, and it's making you go to work to sit in front of your boss and listen to their shit in the next day. The thing is that you need a proactive property manager to be able to get you the best rental returns. If we're looking at it and we have, I did the example, let's say $20 per week, times it by 10, times it by 20, that's, 10,400 per year. This is, 20,800 per year. That is the difference that could be costing you on your portfolio. I don't know how many properties you have, and I don't know how many properties you aspire to own, but if the property manager's costing you money, you need to sack them. That's what I did. That's why I set up Blink. So people ask me why I set up Blink. Is it for making a commercial interest and making money? Hopefully it'll make me money one day. But the business as it is, you don't see real estate offices out there that are set up purely to look after property management. That's all we specialise in. That's all it does. That's what it's set up for. The real estate offices make money out of the sales, all that sort of stuff. Property management is probably the most underpaid, underloved, underprivileged sort of job that is out there in real estate. And to get fantastic property managers is like gold. So if the property manager has got your rent there, you should be at $340. That's $40 a week. That's $2,080 per annum per week that they're costing you. Now, if you can have a property portfolio, which, let's just work on some numbers here. Quite often I get asked about how quickly can you make money out of your property, and for me it's as quick as what a property manager can be help me out by getting the increased rents. So if you've got a property here that's rented out for $300 today, you increase it to $320, $340, $350, whatever. Let's say for instance you get a $50 increase in the next 2 years or 3 years. 3 years time, you're at $350. That's $50 per week that you've got in your pocket. Times it by 52, that is $2,600 per annum. If you have 10 properties, that is $26,000 per annum. If I said to you, you got a shit property manager, if you're in business, if you manage staff, whatever the case is, if you've got someone that's underperforming in your business, would you get rid of them or keep them because they're nice people? Well, businesses that keep people because they're nice people and they cost them money, they normally go broke in business and close their doors. As a property investor, you don't want to be like that. You want to be proactive. You want to make sure everything's in check. You want to make sure that you're making money. And that's why you're investing for. That's what you're out to achieve. If the property managers, can increase your rent by $100 per week, times by 52, that is $5,200 per annum. If you have 10 properties, that is, I'm not going to draw it there. I'm going to draw it further down. If you have 10 properties, increase the rent by $100 per week. I'm not saying that property managers are miracle workers. They're going to come and cure the sick and walk on water and all that sort of stuff. But the fact of it is that over a period of 3 years or 5 years, if you're sitting there with your 10 properties, your property manager's still got the same rent as what it was 5 years ago or whatever, they could be costing you 50 grand a year. 50 grand a year means that you have to hop on the bus and go to work every day and put up with shit. The 50 grand means that you can't spend time with your family, your kids, going to the beach, going out doing charity, whatever the case may be, and whatever's important for you is the fact that you should be getting angry if your property manager isn't doing the right job. And in any world that you'd sack someone. So the fact of it is that if you want a good property manager, you want a property manager that's going to be proactive. You want a crap property manager, just be, oh yeah, okay, if the property manager says that, yeah, whatever, and listen to their crap that they give you. So people ask me, why did I set up Blink Property? The reason why I set it up is that I look at my bottom line, I look at my cash flow. If we look at most property managers and how they operate and how they think and the mindset behind that, the reason why you're missing out on income, the fact of it is that when you have an increase of rent of $20 per week, right? Let's say your management fee is, 7.7%. So your management fee 7.7%, $20 per week means that you'll be paying the office an extra $1.40 per week. Is the property manager going to see $1.40 per week? No. If the property manager did see the $1.40 a week, would they care? Probably not, because the property manager, what they are, they've got so much on their plate, they don't want to see the tenant come in and complain and go, oh, my rent's gone up, blah, 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 whinge in their face, right? But the fact is that you're paying someone to work on your behalf and achieve your result. If they're not achieving a result, then that's the thing. The fact of it is that as a business person, as an investor, and looking at the bottom lines all the time, I always want my rents to go up. I see the opportunity there as the fact that if rents do go up, then, you know, that $1.40 times it by 100 or 1,000 or however many properties are on whatever office's rent roll, the fact that it all adds up. At 100, that's $140 per week. Or to the bottom line, it's an extra $7,400 per annum. Or if it's 1,000 properties, that is $1,400 per week, or $74,000. So from economical sense, you know, how does your property manager look at the business? Do they treat your property like it's their own? Do they treat the business as if it's their own? Do they treat, you know, your property like a business? Do they respect you as a landlord? Do they respect you as their boss? Do they respect you as what they do? If they don't achieve the right result, you know, that's the way it is. But, you know, people ask me quite often, how can you build a passive income? How can you, you know, increase your cash flow? How can you, you know, speed up the process? And it's important to have competent people. It's all about your team. It's all about those that are around you. And, you know, you get second rate, you know, whatever it is. You get a second rate doctor, they chop your finger off. You know, you get a good doctor, they, you know, make it look pretty for you. So it's the difference between having someone that's going to work in your best interest or not. So I'll leave that with you. You think about your properties. I encourage you to go online right this minute, actually. I encourage you to go online, have a look at your properties that you own, if you own properties. Have a look at what else is renting in your area. Just go out there. If not, call up your property manager tomorrow and say, hey, I need a rent increase. But just when you call them, think about, did you have to pick up the phone and ask for that rent increase as well? I'll leave it with you. Have a great day. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch up soon.